I really like painting because it's very direct. So as a viewer, you can see all the steps, all the questions I had. You can see all of this in the materiality, in the painting itself. And I think that is very touching, to see the doubt and to see the little success moments the painter had.
Was mit Kunst? Ein Podcast von und mit Johann König.
Today's guest is Hugo Ruyant. Welcome, Hugo.
Thank you.
First time in real life or in presence in the exhibition with an audience. Usually I like to start asking my guests how they got into art in the first place. You told me your father was an engineer helping with building a model here for the gallery. Your mother works with text. How did you come across the possibility of becoming a professional artist?
I think I was really much into drawing when I was a child, and I received a lot of love about it. So you find your place in society like the drawer guy. So it made me desire to continue, and so then I came to art studies. So you met more and more people who like the same as you, and it gives you more passion and more desire to go into art. And so it's a life project, but I think it's very much about be encouraging by the people you love, and when they told you are good at it, you want to be in it. Yeah.
But there was no role model, no artist.
In my family, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was at the beginning the weird guy making drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
And the drawings were influenced by your consumption of comics, or?
Yeah, at the very beginning, I really wanted to be a comic author, like make books, and so I began with the art school, studying narrative, studying the art of making books, and I did 3 years in this. But I wasn't really into be at my desk all year to make 40 pages and to make a book out. I was more into a more immersive way to show my work, and so I first began with this art school very into illustration, and then I went to Belgium to make a printmaking studies, and at this moment it was very open mind to me, because I was surrounded by not only drawers like me, but my friends were sculptors, conceptual artists, photographers, and we were all using these printmaking techniques to develop our ideas and our art. So, and there was also this discover of art scene, very free in Belgium, maybe like in Berlin, with a lot of artist-run space, a lot of possibilities to make shows your own. So it was very important to me at this time to be in Belgium.
And you said that you moved into painting because when you create a comic or illustration, people turn page after page. And
very fast, yeah.
It's fast, and the time spent with the actual image, to achieve that, you need to create painting. Is this why you became a painter?
Yeah, and there is also a step between the two, between paintings and comics books, is very much because of working into printmaking. When when you use printmaking techniques, you can't do the thing directly. You have many steps to arrive to the final image. So you learn a bit how to deconstruct images. You learn how we consume images, and you learn a lot about the history of images, like the political one, the advertising one. That was my learning to painting. And when you are in printmaking, it's analog techniques. So more and more I was very interested into trying painting, but also very afraid of it, because painting has a big history. So I think you have to be brave to accept to do painting yourself. And at the beginning it was very frightening to me. So yeah, at this time I was saying to myself, okay, I'm going to have 30 years old in a few, I have to try. So
you only started to paint when you were 30 years old?
Yeah.
Aha, so quite recent.
29, I'm 33 now.
Aha, okay, so you only paint for 4 years now?
Yes.
Okay. When you say the challenge, I mean that painting is a long conversation, and you sort of contribute something to it. How do you come to your sujet or to your motive subject? Like in this exhibition we see seashells and birds. I came to your work because I bought a painting for our collection of an Alka-Seltzer, which is in the process of being consumed by water.
Yeah.
So, which I thought was very interesting as a temporary. I mean, it's a figurative object.
Yeah.
And naturmort somehow, like a still life, but in process of disappearing.
Yeah.
And I thought this image is an interesting sort of transformation. How do you get to your subject?
I really want to create a rhythm in my work and to change to an exhibition from another. And for this exhibition, I was imagining like traveling of paintings where we see birds flying above our world. And to me, it was a way to speak about the rumor we have as humans, as the conspiracy attitude we have of speaking of stuff, changing the sense. Maybe as humans we speak a lot, and the message is changing every time. And I was also trusting this subject because in our contemporary world, we don't really know what is the truth, who is lying, and so I was very motivated by this subject, and I wanted to make very speed paintings. Like you can feel there is a before and an after when you see the paintings. So there is this group of birds flying. Also, sometimes a joke with the parrots, because the parrots are really known because they always speak, and they can't take the secret. So I was thinking it was funny to make these two paintings and to counteract these big paintings. I had this idea of seashells. Maybe we can understand them like listeners because of the whole of emptiness. And for sure, I was very interested by mixing in the same show very different way of painting, like grotesque ones on the side, and very traditional still life on the other side.
And if you say, and how do they, how are they connected, and how does birds, how could you think of rumors in connection to birds? How does that connect?
I think this animal, like, I don't know, it was direct to me, like to show birds talking. Normally they are singing, so the idea of speaking about something is very close to birds to me. And there was also this idea of not grounded paintings. I really didn't want to put ground in the paintings, so I thought to make birds painting was interesting to me as a painter, to find some painting solution. So you don't see the floor, you never see the floor in the paintings. So to me it was a challenge to progress. It's the same with the sequence of the 3 big ones. My intention was to make a flip with the horizon, like a camera movement. Maybe with this idea of we take for granted the horizon is always a thing stable, it's a reference we have.
Point of orientation.
Yeah, very horizontal. And in the painting they are like drifted. So it's a group of 3 paintings showing time passing and showing a conversation between birds.
But what you say with the sequence is interesting because that's somehow something which is structuring your practice, no?
Yeah.
You work in sequences of the Alka-Seltzer getting diluted, or the seashells, the birds. What other subjects were there?
So there is seashells, birds, a lot of humans doing funny stuff like hanging the door with their feet.
What context is this coming from?
From my notebooks. Sometimes I draw a lot in my sketchbooks, and sometimes when I think it's not a good idea for a painting, I'm even more motivated to make it into painting.
Aha, so if you have like sort of an anti-reaction.
Yeah, something like this. I think as many artists or painters, we are looking for the painting missing. It's a conversation, and so you want to find a new thing.
But a painting which hasn't been painted, is that existing?
I'm looking for surprise for myself, and maybe also surprising the painters I like.
Yeah.
Like a conversation.
So you paint for other painters?
Yeah, we could say that.
And when you have these sequences, like when you start for an exhibition, how does it come to you? Like when like here, for example, these 2 sujets, how and how do they connect to the Alka-Seltzer, for example? And how important is it? Do you plan to be recognizable, like that your style? Because also here, when we look at the seashells, it's almost as if you contemplate on the history of art or the history of painting within your seashells.
Yeah. It's.
But at the same time, it makes it not so identifiable as a Hugo Ruyant.
The seashells?
No, yes, but overall, I mean, how do you get a seashell with shaking hands and Alka-Seltzers, for example, and birds? Like how? And I understood the next show you're planning in Paris is sheeps.
Yeah, I think all my works are guided by the same research, the same use of colors. So we can see the link between all my works. I'm looking for a town, like I'm looking for musicality we can say that about painting. So I'm not really concerned by the coherence of the works. I think it's going to appear naturally. Like I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking about making good paintings, making the maximum I can, and to show to the people I have a big appetite into images and paintings. So I really love the two sequences like the same. It's maybe a bit schizo, but that's, I want to be very generous in my artistic journey, and to explore the maximum. I think it's tasty to have a rhythm in artistic work.
You mentioned one series was called Air Conditioner
Fantasies.
Air Conditioner Fantasies.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explore on this.
So 1 year ago, I was in art residency with my girlfriend in Kapyeong in the south of Korea. And we spent 10 days in a very, very beautiful house, but very lost in the nature, in a small town in South Korea. And one night we thought about a ghost in the house because of a really bad smell. Finally it was because of the air conditioner bugs and the rain with this smell. And it gave me this idea of making a show about it, make a show about the experience, and maybe not as a classical journal, but to make Asian tale, like showing ghosts coming from air conditioner. It was like a conceptual couple, like you know, when Cronenberg is doing sexual stuff with machines. So I saw this aspect in this idea, and I also tell to myself I never saw a painting with an air conditioner. So.
And how do you paint a ghost?
The interest for me was to make my characters disappearing. So they were very line characters, and you could see the background inside them. So it was really painting stuff, painting challenges for me. Even the subject of the story was quite pop culture, or could be a contemporary film or something like this.
Because you mentioned also the Alka-Seltzer, often maybe not so visible, there are references to art history with here the white parrots or the Alka-Seltzer. How do you recognize them while you paint, or do you have them in mind and they come into the painting?
Basically, I'm thinking of art all day, so and I want to paint every day. So the references stuck to what I'm doing when I'm painting. So I'm telling to myself, it's like Morandi, what I like in Morandi, the seashell looks like. It makes me think about what I read about this artist. And I try to push this tribute while painting, but it's not the very beginning. The very beginning is I want to enjoy it while making it.
And speaking again of the seashells, because also there sometimes they have almost like a Paul Tech meat surface, and there they seem like almost as if you would experiment, or not even experiment, a little show off what you are able to do on the various surfaces in terms of,
true.
You know, like a skateboarder showing tricks, like you know what I mean, like
yeah.
finger samples of your skills or talent, and then they're very different styles and elements.
Yeah, I did the 12 in this show. There is 10 seashells, but I did 12, and in 4 days, and so that's kind of a painting exercise to me, because you are really free, because it doesn't matter if the seashell is red or yellow, it doesn't count. So you have very much space for painting. You can very much show painting mix, painting tricks, and it's easier to me to make maybe little ones, because you can mess, and it's okay to mess a tiny painting. It's quite emotional and hard to mess a big one, because it takes a lot of place at the studio, a lot of space at the studio, and it's very physical to make a big one. Like when you think of the green part, and then you have 2 hours of painting the green part. So you can change your mind doing it. It's another exercise.
Interesting, but that's, I think, pretty much a phenomena for figurative painters, no? Because from artists who work abstract, I often hear large paintings much easier.
Yes.
Than a small one, because somehow of the distance and the...
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, but you say it's more easier to domesticate small canvas.
Yeah, but maybe I'm much more looking for abstract qualities in my tiny paintings, and I'm more looking for drawings qualities in the bigger ones. Okay,
so but you said that you are more easygoing, but you had the seashell and it's faster.
I don't think too much to do this kind of paintings. It's like more jazz work. Like,
freestyle.
Completely freestyle.
Yeah, but the seashell or the Alka-Seltzer, that concept is clear, but then how you execute it is more...
It's improvisation and just color arrangement, like that feel right to me, or that feel... It's a sculptural work, like in the seashell, for example, I did them in different fabrics. So you have cotton, you have gesso, you have linen. So it's just to make sculptural things. You have also different kind of paintings. You have the acrylic, the oil is more bright, and the amar resin, it's even brighter. So I like very much to think of painting as sculptural surfaces, like layers, and the layers have to be interesting.
In the process, do you recognize then this combination is the right one to continue, or they're all equally on one level in the hierarchy?
I think I can. I stop a painting when I feel it's incomplete. Like I stopped the painting when I can see a potentiality of movement, like something going outside from the canvas. So this is my criterion. This is my and I don't have a judgment of what is going on.
But the series is continuing?
Yeah, sure.
And the Alka-Seltzer also?
So the Alka-Seltzer, the medicine glasses, I already did 70 of them, 60 or 70. They were like a diary, a painting diary to me, like just next to the big paintings, finishing my brush at the end of the day. And I think the seashell painting can have the same dimension, I think they can speak very much about time, because we all know seashells, we all know that it's a very slow construction by animals, for sure. It's a really beautiful thing. We admire it. We like the seashells. So there is something very seductive, and at the same time, I try to put some dramatic on it, like some nasty thing, like in the one I titled Tech, so a tribute to Poltech relics. It's like a piece of meat or something deeper, like something very human, disgusting and beautiful at the same time, like in Bacon paintings, like this thing very much about human condition.
When I was a child, my mother, she was a filmmaker, and she was in the Südsee, like in the what is it, West Indies. And because she was a filmmaker, and she brought back a big seashell. And you remember as a child when you...
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, you listen to the... And I... somehow my world fell apart when I learned that we don't hear the ocean. That we hear our own blood running through... because this wave you hear, I truly believed that this is the access to... like almost like this.
This is quite beautiful. This idea of listening to the sea.
Yeah, because you remember that you have these metal tins with the wire. I thought this is like a remote control sound speaker to the ocean, and but you are quite confident in finding your motives and your subjects. It's not. Do you have blockade sometimes in front of the canvas, or it just comes to you?
I think there is always a solution. So sometimes there is many layers in my paintings. The red seashell was blue before. There is a lot of turning point, like I can change very much. So what I like is to explore while making the painting. So, and sometimes I can mess very hard some paintings.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can, mentioning mess, that the show is titled "Leave a Mess Edge."
Yeah, it's
or Mess Age.
It's a word game. Like I'm really proud of the title, because it really say what I try to do.
Mm-hmm.
I find it chatting with ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very okay to say that, but having a conversation with ChatGPT, we came to this arrangement of leave a message, and I was shocked because it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. How?
Yeah, it's a little. The idea is to make something very quick, funny, like "Ciao, leave me a message," like, and at the same way to speak about the world we are in, a bit apocalyptic sometimes, and a bit messy. So it's a painting show with animals, but my intention is really much to speak about us as greedy, funny humans.
So it's like mess age, like ice age.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Like mess society, or like mess.
But also age, like the era, ice age,
like
our era of like mess, and then the dealing with message and social media and artificial intelligence, obviously. You use AI also to generate pictures?
No.
Or not to pictures, but to generate topics like subjects to... Like,
not yet.
So like the Alka-Seltzer, how did you come to the subject to paint
this fizzing glass?
Yeah.
Something work with me when you have intention or idea, you begin to draw it in a sketchbook. Then the better is to make a painting of it. And if you feel that you will have space for experimentation or jazz work, it could be a very nice idea for paintings. And if you show this draft to your girlfriend or your friends, and if they like it, maybe it's a good way to continue. But when you see, you can feel, you can add references to it. It's good because people will understand or have connection to the subject. And with the Alka-Seltzer, because I consume a lot of images, a lot of artworks, because I'm a painter, but I am also a lover of art. So, and I had in mind this fizzing glass of Roy Lichtenstein, with an American artist from pop art. And we know him for his dot paintings, and it's coming from screen print also. So he did a representation of Alka-Seltzer. And so it was a way to enter in conversation with his work, I like so much, and also a play with the still life, but more humoristic, like when you are in hangover, or you have you are not really good. You take a medicine. I think Alka, it's like half medicine, half vitamin, and so I told to myself, maybe it's a good still life. It's a temporary still life. And I think the main subject of painting maybe is time. So there is something to do with it. I'm painting, thinking about it, and when it's a match to me, it encouraged me.
And maybe last, going back to your sort of early influences with comic and cartoons, which were they, and how do you see the relationship to contemporary art and painting generally? Because I mean, there has been a lot of sort of contemplation on street art and how street art found its way into the museum or not, and destructive spray paints finds elements with abstract expressionism and so on. How do you see the cartoon? I mean, we clearly see cartoonish elements in your paintings on various. It's like a language. That's why I guess the message makes sense, because obviously it's a conversation with all the paintings which have been painted in the past. But how is a cartoon influence?
In fact, what I really love is this. I don't know if it's the same word in English. It's ellipse. It's the silent moment you have between two frames. Like you can guess what is happening between two drawings, and so comics books are in frame, and I think it's quite magical to be able to imagine the missing images, the missing image between the two.
Mm-hmm. With the sequence again, right?
It's very much about sequence, yeah. But with drawing you have sequence in the films, but I fucking love this. I think it's really beautiful, and sometimes maybe I'm trying to make the same into exhibition space. Like we can feel a narrative line between the paintings.
Yeah, funny that you mentioned this, because this is what I thought to discover between this painting and then the depth or the emptiness before it continues over there, like this sort of sequence.
That is thanks to Stefka.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a really good idea. But my what I like very much is to imagine this rhythm between the images, and I really like with painting because the images themselves have so much qualities and relief and depth, more than in comics books. It's very flat.
And you really came to painting from sort of spending time with these, one of the many boxes you create of the windows when you make a comic, to give that one more attention, more space, literally more space, more time, more presence.
Yeah.
And then blew it up, or how was the process?
I'm really happy with painting now because I feel I can progress and maybe go out more and more from this model, from this first intention, and I'm learning a lot and much more than making narrative stuff. I think painting it's a really weird space, so much interesting, and it's not really much about images. It's about making an object, like emotional object.
But do these emotional objects, they all share one space? Are they all in the same sort of universe?
We'll see. But yes, to me, I did 4 or 5 exhibitions right now, and they are coherent, like because of the ideas behind the way, like I really like when you can see in artistic practice the way of thinking. Like that's the most beautiful thing. That's why we like art. That's why we like to follow artists. It's with time we can see a very precise, emotional way of thinking and of being into aesthetic, into the world.
And do you sort of consciously try to create a recognizable style?
Not that much, but I know I have a kind of style, but I'm not thinking that much of it. Like to me, it's interesting to have the seashell more naturalistic and to have the narrative scenes more grotesque. Like I'm not limiting myself. Perhaps in the future I'm going to make very abstract paintings. I don't know. We'll see. But,
how much do you have the feeling? Are you in the tradition or in the sort of legacy of French painters?
I'm not feeling that much in the legacy of French painter. I'm much more look at American ones, as I said, Belgian ones. Sometimes French painters look to me, it depends who, but too serious or too deep into art history.
Very formal and quite strict, no?
There is a lot of a good French painter, but it's not my my direct inspiration. Like I don't know why. Like yeah, there is much more. It's funny because there is very much drawings into the French painters' work.
And you mentioned your next subject is sheeps. What is it about the sheep?
So my idea for the sheep, it's funny because at the first time I was thinking about the sheep for KÖNIG Gallerie, because before KÖNIG was a church. So I was thinking about making something about sacrifice, religious things and everything. So I came with this idea of Agnus Dei, like a sheep you have to kill, like something very dramatic. And then I had this idea of the show. I was more excited, like I think it was more interesting to not be so stuck to the church history of the space. But for sheep is the idea of the pastoral. Pastoral is something to describe a life with the rhythm of the seasons, to describe when you are guiding your sheep. And I think it's interesting in our time to make a show about a very minimal life, and yeah. So my idea for the next show is to make a lot of painting of sheep, and maybe some painting views of a starry night, and to have like maybe this effect of who are we following, who is guiding us, even a bit political, like in that way. We are the subject of someone, something, we don't know.
When you find a new subject, like the birds or the seashells, how do you exercise or practice?
Directly on canvas.
You immediately start on the canvas.
Yeah.
And there's no projection.
I have the secret between the parrots. I have this drawing in my sketchbook. But if not, I really want to work the idea directly on the canvas. Like it's more
with the pencil.
With brushes, yeah.
Immediately and
immediately,
no projection and no
yeah.
raster transfer.
I think it's a better way to me to get emotion into the representation. Because if not, I really like painting because it's very direct. So as a viewer, you can see all the steps, all the questions I had. You can see all of this in the materiality, in the painting itself, and I think that is very touching to see the doubt and to see the little success moments the painter had.
And does a subject matter after all, or doesn't it matter? Could be anything. It's just a reason to paint a painting.
I think the subject doesn't matter that much. It's a way to begin, but yeah, because you know, I was painting fading glasses before, characters, now seashell, now birds. So it's not really a question of the subject, but more the way you work with it, to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johann.
Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you.
Thank you.